Hello, I'm Kelly and I draw things, and welcome back to another video behind the scenes. And today I'm going to be showing you a technique I use often in my sketchbook to kind of get some ideas flowing, but it's also, I think, a really good way to get out of art block. Art block is when you kind of get stuck by a wall and it mentally prevents you from drawing or creating or doing a hobby, things like that that's art related. And I think this is a nice way to generate some ideas, but also have them be very unique to you and bring your own personal voice to something rather than just being inspired by an individual source, which then it is easy to unintentionally pull too much from an individual source, and then it feels like a knockoff from that source rather than something you created. So for this demo, essentially, I have grabbed two images that I've saved a while back. When I'm online and browsing, I just save everything I like ever from the internet, and I usually throw it on a Pinterest board, and I have them by theme, or usually now it's by season. So this is from my summer 2022 board that I just collected things that I like, and I'll go through and pull 2 or 3 of them and then mash them all together. So for this example that I'm doing in my sketchbook, I've chosen 2 images. One is this photo by Ransford Quay I got off unsplash.com, which is a great website for images that are kind of free use, which is great. And then this painting I saw online, I think it was an ad for a poster of it actually, but this is called Spring Scattering Stars by Edwin Blashfield, and it was done in 1927, and I really liked it, so I saved it, and I'm going to kind of take both of the images, look at them, examine them, pick out my favorite parts, and use as inspiration to create my own sketchbook idea. So looking at the painting, I love the moon. I think it's really cool how she's interacting with it instead of it being up in the sky, unable to be touched. So we've kind of got this moon goddess vibe that I'm getting, and I like these little tiny glowing stars that sprinkle throughout the rest of the image. I think that's nice. And then for the photo, I like that we have her makeup that matches these petal props that are on her face, but I like that they extend off the figure and kind of add to the figure. I think that's really cool. So I'm going to use both of those as starting points, and I'm going to have them up on my iPad while I have my sketchbook in front of me so I can refer back to them if needed, if I get stuck, and just kind of use it as a starting off point. And then if my drawing ends up going in a completely different direction, I'm okay with that. If it stays very true to truly combining some of these elements that I like from these images, that's cool. It's just a jumping off point to get past that art block or get past that anxiety of starting a sketchbook page that's blank or things like that. So this is purely for idea generation, and then once you're in the sketchbook, it's kind of a free-for-all. So I'm going to start drawing. It's going to be a lot of mixed media and just kind of see what happens. So let's go. Okay, and here's my finished little mashup piece. So I have the moon, obviously, from the painting. And then I based the girl kind of off of the photo. I gave her some locks instead of the very like swooshy hair because I like the shape better. I thought it was cool. I took that star idea and put it right by her eye. It kind of turned into her eye. I did kind of like mess up her hand, but that's kind of the joy of using the pen when doing Sketchbook, because it forces you to not like stop and erase and make it perfect and just move on. And really, it's a sketchbook. It's not supposed to be perfect in this case. It's supposed to be a little bit experimental, and then I can come back to it and use it as a basis for a bigger drawing, a more polished drawing. So I do find working in pen helps me work faster and helps me not dwell on the small mistakes. So that is something I like to do. That same like star scatter is inspired by the painting. And I kind of went off on my own on the colors. I liked some colored pencil that I dropped in there, and then just some Posca marker. I bought this guy and I've been really into him, so he's just been really cool. But he was a lot of the pink. I did some colored pencil pink. The black is either this Pentel sign pen, which is kind of chunky. It's not super fine, which again helps me not get caught up with that has to be perfect stuff. This is just a Tombow water-based dual-ended marker, and it is cheap, but good for just blocking stuff in real fast. And I left some intentional space in there because I knew since it's water-based, it would be really hard to get it really solid and really flat. And so I kind of played into that texture and just had one of those like happy accident moments. And then I took my pencils and I went back over and filled in some of those gaps that I left intentionally in the marker. But it's such a high quality pigment pencil that it actually built up a little bit on top of the marker. So I get some cool effects I didn't really expect. And there's my piece. Hey, so I finished my sketchbook page and I'm excited about it. I think it was fun. I think it was a great example of it's not perfect, but it's in a sketchbook. So who cares? But a lot of my sketchbook images, I will do this as a starting off point. I have a whole Pinterest board and I'll just go through and pick random elements from the board and kind of throw them into a drawing as I go in my sketchbook when I'm doing some sketchbook time. And I think it's really fun. It helps me break out of what I just naturally draw out of my head, which is mostly cats and mostly stars. Now you go, Kelly, there are stars in here. Yes. But I wouldn't probably have drawn this big like wave of stars the way I did without the inspiration. I definitely wouldn't have drawn this moon that way without the inspiration. I'm very much like small moon in the corner, but having it big is very different. And it helps me become more diverse as an artist and create more diverse art, which is great. So thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons who get access to the videos 6 months early, which is really great. If you're looking for more videos and you've watched them all on my channel, there's a backlog of 6 months waiting for you on my Patreon. But thank you to my patrons for allowing me to do this. They help fund all the art I do, which is really great, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your afternoon, and I'll see you guys later. Unless it's not afternoon, whatever time of day. Enjoy your day. Bye.